Recording in progress. Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be talking about inscribed quadrilaterals, and this stuff is really fun because you can really do it so many different ways, which is always great. So let's start. We can really start pretty much wherever we want to in this figure, but I'm going to start with this 66 degrees right here that I'm given. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace this angle, and I'm actually going to extend the angle all the way out. So what you can see is that this angle right here is actually creating this entire arc right there. All right, so let's just highlight this arc that it's creating. Okay, since this whole arc is created, I can say that this is an inscribed angle and this is its arc. So we're going to go up here and look. The angle is half of the arc. The arc is double the angle. So this whole thing right here is going to be double that angle. So it's going to be 66 times 2, which is 132. All right, 132. So since this whole thing is 132, we know that this measure right here is 62, so we can just subtract from 62 to find this measure right here. So let's do 132 minus 62, and this is going to give us our measure right here, our AD arc. Okay, so 132 minus 62, that is going to give us 70 degrees. So let's go ahead and write this one in. This is going to be 70. All right, and now we can continue working around our circle. We know that this is 66 degrees, so we need to use the fact that these two together are going to add to 180. So if I do 180 minus 62, that is going to give us this angle right here, which is going to be 180 minus 62, which is 118. Okay, so this measure right here is going to be 118 degrees. All right, now we need to figure out, we're trying to figure out everything in this figure. So I need to figure out D and B here, and I also need to figure out this arc measure right here. So we can go about this multiple ways, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to see what B opens up to, and then we're going to go from there. So angle B is opening up to this arc right here, and this whole arc is 70 plus 118. So 70 plus 118, that is going to be 188. Okay, since that's 188 and the angle is going to be half of the arc, we're going to do 188 divided by 2, which is going to give us, let's see, 188 divided by 2, that's going to give us 94. Okay, so this angle right here is going to be 94 degrees. All right, now we can use the fact that the angles opposite of each other add up to 180. So we're going to do 180 minus 94. Okay, and let's just go type this. I'm struggling with my mental math here. 180 minus 94, that is going to give us 94. That's going to give us 86. So this angle right here is going to be 86 degrees. And we just need to solve for one more thing, which is this arc measure right here, BC. So we can solve for this multiple ways, but what I'm going to do is just subtract from 360 because a whole circle is going to be 360 degrees. So let's subtract 62, 70, 118 from 360. So 360 minus 62 minus 70 minus 118. And this is going to give us our very final measure right here, which is BC. Okay, so let's do 360 minus 62 minus 70 minus 118. And this is going to be 110. So this measure right here is going to be 110 degrees. Okay, let's try one more. I know that this is kind of abstract whenever you're first looking at it, but there really are multiple ways that you can solve these problems, and they are really fun. So let's look at this figure over here. We're still solving this one as well, and we can use the fact that the opposite angles are going to add up to 180. So since this one is 102, that means that this one is going to be 180 minus 102, which is going to be 70 degrees. So this one is going to be 78. All right, now we know that this one is 82, so to find angle Q, we can do 180 minus 82. So that is going to be 98 degrees. All right, so this one is 98 degrees. Now we need to solve for our arc measures, and there are multiple ways of going about this, but we do need to use the fact that we already have this 66 degrees. So let's look at this arc measure first. So if I'm looking at angle G, I can see that it creates this entire arc right here. And since the arc is always going to be double the angle, this is going to be 82 times 2, which is going to be 164. So this whole thing is going to be 164. So I'm going to subtract from 164 to figure out this measure right here. So let's do 164 minus 66. And let's just go type that in. That is going to be 98. So this measure right here is going to be 98 degrees. Okay, let's look at another inscribed angle, and I'm just going to use H now. So I know that H is opening up to this arc right here. So 102 times 2 is going to give me this whole measure right here. 102 times 2 is going to give us 204. So I do need to figure out this measure by subtracting from 204, subtracting 98 from it. So let's do 204 minus 98, and that is going to give us our measure FG. So 204 minus 98, that's going to give us 106. So this measure right here is 106. Okay, and we just have one more thing that we need to solve for. It's this HG right here. So what I can do is I can subtract 66, 98, and 106 from 180, or I can use the inscribed angle 78 right here and try to figure out what that measure is there. But I think the most fun thing to do is subtract from 360. So let's do 360 minus 66 minus 98 minus 106. Okay, and the reason that we can do that is because a whole circle has 108 or 360 degrees, so we can subtract all the arcs from 360. So let's do 360 minus 66 minus 98 minus 106. And that is going to give us, and I did not type in 360, that is going to give us 90 degrees. So the measure of this final arc that we need to find is 90 degrees. Okay, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please know that there are multiple ways to work these problems, so you could work it a completely different way and get to the same answer that I did. Hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. Yeah, bye.